intrinsic motivation, was real. But surely it was subordinate to the other two drives. If the monkeys were rewarded with raisins for solving the puzzles, they'd no doubt perform even better. Yet when Harlow tested that approach, the monkeys actually made more errors and solved the puzzles less frequently. Introduction of food in the present experiment, Harlow wrote, served to disrupt performance, a phenomenon not reported in the literature. Now this was really odd. In scientific terms, it was akin to rolling a steel ball down an inclined plane to measure its velocity, only to watch the ball float into the air instead. It suggested that our understanding of the gravitational pulls on our behavior was inadequate, that what we thought were fixed laws had plenty of loopholes. Harlow emphasized the strength and persistence of the monkey's drive to complete the puzzles. Then he noted, "It would appear that this drive may be as basic and strong as the other drives. Furthermore, there is some reason to believe that it can be as efficient in facilitating learning." At the time, however, the prevailing two drives held a tight grip on scientific thinking. So Harlow sounded the alarm. He urged scientists to close down large sections of our theoretical junkyard and offer fresher, more accurate accounts of human behavior. He warned that our explanation of why we did what we did was incomplete. He said that to truly understand the human condition, we had to take account of this third drive. Then he pretty much dropped the whole idea. Rather than battle the establishment and begin offering a more complete view of motivation, Harlow abandoned this contentious line of research and later became famous for studies on the science of affection. His notion of this third drive bounced around the psychological literature, but it remained on the periphery of behavioral science and of our understanding of ourselves. It would be 2 decades before another scientist picked up the thread that Harlow had so provocatively left on that Wisconsin laboratory table. In the summer of 1969, Edward Deasy was a Carnegie Mellon University psychology graduate student in search of a dissertation topic. Deasy, who had already earned an MBA from Wharton, was intrigued by motivation, but suspected that scholars and business people had misunderstood it. So, tearing a page from the Harlow playbook, he set out to study the topic with the help of a puzzle. Deasy chose the Soma Puzzle Cube, a then-popular Parker Brothers offering that, thanks to YouTube, retains something of a cult following today. The puzzle consists of 7 plastic pieces, 6 comprising 4 1-inch cubes, 1 comprising 3 1-inch cubes. Players can assemble the 7 pieces into a few million possible combinations, from abstract shapes to recognizable objects. For the study, Deasy divided participants, male and female university students, into an experimental group, what I'll call Group A, and a control group, what I'll call Group B. Each participated in 3 one-hour sessions held on consecutive days. Here's how the sessions worked. Each participant entered a room and sat at a table on top of which were the 7 Soma puzzle pieces, drawings of 3 puzzle configurations, and copies of Time, The New Yorker, and Playboy. Hey, it was 1969. Deasy sat at the opposite end of the table to explain the instructions and to time performance with the stopwatch. In the first session, members of both groups had to assemble the Soma pieces to replicate the configurations before them. In the second session, they did the same thing with different drawings, only this time Deasy told Group A they'd be paid $1, the equivalent of nearly $6 today, for every configuration they successfully reproduced. Group B, meanwhile, got new drawings but no pay. Finally, in the third session, both groups received new drawings and had to reproduce them for no compensation, just as in session 1. The twist came midway through each session. After a participant had assembled the Soma puzzle pieces to match 2 of the 3 drawings, Deasy halted the proceedings. He said that he was going to give them a 4th drawing, but to choose the right one, he needed to feed their completion times into a computer. And this being the late 1960s when room-straddling mainframes were the norm and desktop PCs were still a decade away, that meant he had to leave for a little while. On the way out, he said, "I shall only be gone a few minutes. You may do whatever you like while I'm gone."